within the area bounded by James.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. They just announced it that human remains were found, and the mayor just issued a curfew for Nashville for the next few days.
Yes, that is Thursday. It says Friday, but actually it says Thursday, but it is Friday, 4:30 p.m. tonight, and will be lifted Sunday at 4:30 p.m. So he has the date wrong there, but that will go into effect here in about 11 minutes for that area curfew of 4:30 p.m. starting Friday, December 25th, and lifted Sunday, December 27th at 4:30 p.m. We're about to post all this information on our website, but again, Associated Press's sources also saying that authorities have found human remains in the vicinity of the explosion in downtown Nashville. Guys?
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, that could be an indication of many different things. Someone innocently could have died in the explosion, or it could have been a suicide bomber. And there could have been someone in that RV when the explosion went off. We'll obviously have to wait for further information from the investigators. Maybe the mayor will have something at 5 o'clock. Doubtful that would come from investigators, and we have no indication that they're going to be providing any kind of further updates on this day in regards to the federal probe.
And they may not know at this time, right? Not. This is a big blast zone area that they need to go through and comb through. Also, we were showing you perspective from our Nissan camera as well. It appears as though those federal authorities were setting up, whether it be a staging area or if they were investigating. We saw them out there with tape measures. They had a box in their hand. They were setting up lights. So we're seeing them now. Okay, it looks like they have since moved. So I wonder if there was something there that they collected and then removed from the area, because this is just near the blast site. So it's interesting to see that they have to go street by street, almost inch by inch. They're looking for everything. Yep. Anything could be an indicator to what is happening here.
Yeah, they did carry a box away from the scene, possibly with some evidence that will be examined a little bit later. But there was at least 10 to 12 officers looking on their hands and knees, looking for any kind of evidence that may have landed in that parking lot.
Let's go ahead and take another vantage point for you. This is from earlier today, but we've talked a lot about that communications building. It is a hub for AT&T. It services the Southeast region. We've been talking about communications disrupted, really crippling the 911 system all the way up into southern Kentucky, here in our area, as far out as Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro. We've heard from Trousdale, that was Sumner County as well, reported some issues. Not only that, but we are seeing email issues, phone issues, and now flight issues. The FAA also grounding flights at BNA. So this has a large effect as far as telecommunications is concerned. Let's talk about that building, because we were told earlier by investigators that were out there that that was supposed to be an impenetrable building, that it was built to withstand
it was
and
not
protect the
impenetrable. Still got
communications
a
and
bomb hole in
capabilities
it.
of that building and the wires and all of the telecommunications that really flow through it. If we're able to show that video, you can see the side of it. There is a hole blasted through where that truck exploded, and you can see that the windows 9 stories up were also sucked in as well. This is a different vantage point, which also gives you a perspective as well, but the one I was talking about really shows the side of the building, the facade that was peeled back. It's just an indication of the heat, the blast, the velocity of what we saw in that area, and the RV, how heavily it was weighted down and packed with explosives to do some sort of damage. Here it is for you. So you can see here, this is a live look from our crews. Thank you for being out there all day long. You can see here the side of the building, the blast, how it is torn through, and as you pan up, you can see some of the shrapnel that then went through the metal, but it's really an unidentifiable building. I don't know that many people would know what this building was unless you know what this building is.
Other than it being red, it doesn't stand out for much.
So that indicates to me that someone was familiar maybe with why they were parking right there. It's connected with the AT&T building.
Yeah, the big question now is going to be the Associated Press's reports of human remains being found in the vicinity. If that is identifiable, how long that will take. Is this the person who was in the van? We don't know, but that's the next big step. That and identifying the van and trying to find out where it came from, how long it was in the area, who owned it, who rented it, was it stolen? All those questions about the two big pieces that have now come to light: possibility of a victim or someone in the vicinity who died, and the description and the location of where this van came from.
You know, it's interesting to me too, just the series of events. You know, you said something earlier where sometimes we ask the questions we don't know, right? Because you're trying to piece together a senseless act. You know, why was it on Christmas morning? Why was it at a time when there wasn't many people out? Was the intent not to
Okay,
do
guys,
harm
if
to
y'all are
human
just
life? Was
joining,
the
I see
intent
I
to
got
cripple
2 people
communications for the
joined.
area?
They
You know,
just
these are all
confirmed
answers that
human
we'll
remains
get
were
sooner rather
found.
than later. But I can't
They
help
do
but
not
think
know
about
if it
the
was
poor men and
the
women, those business
bomber or
owners
if
that
it
have
was an
already been put
innocent
out
victim.
because of COVID 2020 or
They're
COVID
supposed to
19
have an
during 2020
update
through this
at
area that have had
5
so much
p.m.
loss of
Central.
revenue that now have to deal with trying to get their businesses back on track again.
Yeah, this has just been a horrifying year for those poor people that have been, through no fault of their own, just trying to survive the tornadoes and then the COVID-19, and now some of those folks are going to be impacted by this explosion downtown. Just another load for them to try to bear as they try to survive this really difficult year for the entertainment and hospitality industry here in Nashville. They fought hard, but they haven't been given a lot of help, and they're really doing the best they can. And a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people in that industry are unemployed, haven't worked in a year.
Alright, if you just joined, see, I just had another person join. They did confirm human remains. They don't know if it's the bomber or if it's the victim.
Already saying that they are going to be feeding those that are displaced. So if you are in the area, you know someone in the area that needs just a warm meal on this Christmas because they have been displaced because of this explosion, ML Rose is feeding you. East Park Community Center, which is 700 Woodland Street, they are standing by with the American Red Cross to help you if you need anything, or if there's anyone in the area that you know that needs something, please pass them along. And of course, we want to urge you at home, if you have any video or pictures, we would love to see them. Give us permission to use them. We'll put them on screen, but also, more importantly, send them to the FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. They want any tip. They are working to solve this and said they need your help to piece it all together.
Yeah, we keep getting more outages reported. Franklin County has got outages now. We're hearing Dixon County has got outages.
And this is the 911 system?
All 911 assistance is out. So it's I don't know if it's statewide, but it's a big series of outages at police departments, 911 centers, internet service, television service throughout Middle Tennessee, up into Kentucky. So this explosion has disrupted communications quite a bit.
And one of the views that was a live picture from us, one of our camera crews down there that showed the side of the building, we saw what looked like fire crews putting out the fire, but I think now I'm looking, it was like a busted pipe. Well, from another camera view, this is now from my Owen's camera picture, you can see that they just, it looks like, finally capped off the water through the area. Yep, so we had that water spraying to the left of the red building since this morning, and so it looks like maybe they have now got that pipe at least fixed, because you can see from the scene of the blast, those crews finally went away. A lot of ice left over as we had those cold temperatures. There you go, though. We had the whole crew there, so it looks like they're making some progress as they go into the evening. At least maybe the water main that was affected there has since been repaired. I know Bob's getting a closer look, but they're assessing all of the ice there that's hanging on the branches. Right beyond the cop car to the right, we have people standing on the scene as well. This is right in the blast area. What are you looking at, Bob? I see you getting close.
Well, they're putting on their protective gear, and I'm so again speculating, just looking at this picture, wondering if this is where possible human remains are being looked at by these investigators. They came to the area, put on masks and gloves. They're concentrating in an area. You can see the wrecked car. What's left of this debris. This is where the blast happened. Right there is where the explosion happened, and suddenly it's the focal point of 5, 6, 7. I see 7 people standing over there, gloves on, masks on, kind of leaning down into the debris, pointing behind them. Something important is going on in that location.
Yeah, you're right. We have a better vantage point here in the studio. We have it blown up on a major jumbotron so that we could zoom in and see a little bit more with what's activity going on by where that explosion happened here. Since we've been following this story for you at 6:30 this morning, we got a rush of information, and then there's been a little bit of a lull. Hopefully at 5 o'clock we'll be able to bring you some new updated information as well as we continue to watch these investigators work tirelessly throughout this Christmas day.
Yeah, the latest information coming from the mayor's office, he's going to implement a curfew at 4:30 for an area around the blast zone for the next several days. This is so investigators aren't interrupted. It's not the entire city. It's just a portion of the area around 2nd Avenue, James Robertson to the riverfront, the area where the investigators are in the blast area. It takes effect in a couple of minutes. So folks who live in the area who maybe need to get in,
So we can't go downtown now.
Understand that they may
They
be
got
a
a curfew.
question as to why they're out if they haven't heard yet that this is being implemented.
And you'll notice too, the West Loop as I was coming in and I checked traffic. So some of the exits are going to be closed to you if you were trying to make your way through the area as well. Something to plan for as you make your way out. But again, we've been showing you this video from earlier. This is when the explosion happened, just minutes after. You can see how hot. I always look at the plume of smoke, right? The dark, thick smoke indicates how hot that fire is burning. And you can really tell here that that was packed full.
Yeah, you can just look
Here's
at
my
these
little
pictures
baby
and
guys.
see
If
that
y'all
scene
interested
and
in like
understand
cats,
what they were dealing
that's
with.
one of them. I got
After the
another one
initial
knocking on my door.
concussion, the result of the explosion, causing these massive fires, firefighters on the scene not knowing if gas lines are bursting, if there's going to be more explosions, is there anything else?
Okay, for the one that just joined, they have confirmed human remains have been found. They don't know if it's the victim or the bomber.
The area around the explosion on 2nd Avenue, that's roughly also, not totally, but roughly the area of the curfew going to be implemented beginning right now at 4:30. Let's, for those folks joining us, there may be some Christmas dinners that are on and people are
I ended it.
updated on what's going on. Let's go and reset. This is where it all began, 5:30 in the morning.